to that Generic Tech Podcast. I'm Timothy Matthews.
I'm Vinny Masidi. I am not Vinny's friend.
And we are here to talk about technology. And holy crap, there's a lot of crap to talk about.
There's a lot of crap to talk about.
I'm looking at this OneNote page and I'm like,
So if you've been living under a rock for the past, I don't know, 3 days, how long has it been? It's been like not even a week, right? A week, maybe?
No, it's been a week.
It's been a week. So there's a lot of announcements that happened from Apple, Microsoft, and Google.
Yeah. And I guess we're going to start off with the first announcement, which is like Apple. So Apple had an announcement. It went to like this shady little... Well, it's not a shady little. It's actually a nice little venue that they had in San Jose. And they announced a slew of new things. So to start off with, they introduced the MacBook Pro 13-inch with Retina display. Pretty much the same thing as the 15-inch, just 13-inch, and without the graphics card. So get that if you want.
What do you think about it?
What I think about it, I think it's a waste of money.
The 13-inch Retina.
What's the point of getting a 13-inch Retina?
I don't know. You tell me.
There's 0 point. You're paying $500 more. Okay, the only reason why you would, because you can upgrade to 16 gigs of RAM. But other than that, you have the same I/O on the regular MacBook 13-inch.
Okay.
The problem is that the 13-inch, it's higher than 1080p resolution. So first of all, you're on a 13-inch screen, not really going to help you out that much. Mind you, it looks really nice. But you don't have a graphics card. You're relying completely on the chipset, which is kind of a downer. You know, you would think that they would put like something in there just to help out the CPU. Mind you, Ivy Bridge is there for, to help out in the graphics department. But, the 15-inch Retina pretty much had an extra GPU, and even at that, it was kind of laggy. So I can only imagine how this guy's going to respond. But hey, you know what's thinner? It's cooler. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. And the only thing that would really make me go get that is because of you can go up to 16 gigs of RAM. The original MacBook Pro 13-inch can only go up to 8 gigs of RAM.
Okay, it's pretty good. However, I think you might have a bit of a hard time looking at a Retina display 13-inch. Wouldn't it be kind of like? Would it be nice and crisp, or would it be really small? Or
it'll be really crisp because they don't shrink things down.
Okay.
They keep everything the same in points. That's how Apple's been talking about in their design. Is about the points. So when they did like for example the iPhone 3GS to iPhone 4, things didn't get smaller, but like the resolution was like quadruple than what it used to be, right?
Okay.
So but the text still stayed the same size. It's just how it was rendered, with the graphics. So yeah, so I mean nothing gets really changed in that respect. But that's a 13-inch. Mind you do lose the DVD, and you do lose the Ethernet cable.
Yeah.
Which you have to buy a dongle through Thunderbolt in order to get Ethernet. So
man, these dongles are making a comeback, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because even with the Lenovo Carbon X1, you have to have a dongle for the Ethernet jack.
You know what?
And you don't have optical drives anymore, which I really don't care about. But I mean, it's like now when you're a laptop, it's like you almost have to buy a dongle if you want to have that portability.
It's funny, right? Because the whole MacBook Pro is supposed to be professional, meaning you're supposed to be like doing stuff with it. You would think that you would, if you're a professional and you're doing video editing and you're saving to a server, you're not using Wi-Fi. You're using Ethernet. Ethernet is way faster than Wi-Fi. Don't let anyone fool you on that. You can go 1 gigabit per second. There you go. And soon 10 gigabit per second. So, it's the reason why they took it out is because of the thinness. Like, it doesn't really fit. But again, if these things bother you, just get the regular one. And you know what? To be honest with you, it'll work perfectly fine. I have a MacBook Pro right now that I'm running on that is about 2.5 years old, and it works just as well as it did before. I upgraded it. Obviously, I have 8 gigs of RAM and I have an SSD, and the thing just kills for what I do. So that's it. They also introduced the new Mac Mini, which are pretty damn good. Like, they are interesting if you're looking into a small, cheap Mac. In terms of the tech specs, for $599, you get a dual core Ivy Bridge i5 with 500 gigs of hard drive, with 4 gigs of RAM, but you can go up to 16 gigs if you upgraded it.
How many gigs of RAM you go to?
16.
How much? Sorry.
16.
Oh, okay, that's really good.
Yeah, and it has Thunderbolt. It has HDMI. It has 4 USB 3 ports.
Cool.
SD card slot. With
you know what, Tim? I might go buy it.
It's $599.
No, I'm not doing that.
Okay, but and what's cool about the audio jacks is that they're all digital and analog, so you can actually put an optical audio cable out. But you know what? These guys are actually. Oh, and by the way, it has a FireWire port.
Yay, FireWire!
I don't understand, but anyway, but these actually are very, very, very nice. And for $599, you get this is pretty damn good computer. And for me, I was thinking about getting a lab environment, which buying all the components and then putting it together is costing about the same thing. So, I'm thinking about that too. And it's a small thing. It's about this big, like about, I can give you the dimensions soon. But, it's 19.7 centimeters by 19.7 centimeters by 3.6 centimeters. So it's a perfect square with 3.6 centimeters in thickness. But it's I have one and I can't complain right now. I have an older version, the older i5s, but I use that as a media server and it runs perfectly fine.
You're running a media server on a Mac Mini.
I'm not even running media server, to be honest with you. I'm just running OS X server and I plug it into my TV. So I dump all my music files there, and I have my movie files, and I use my iPhones and my iPads to remote into it. Not to remote into it, but to be a remote control to it.
Okay.
So, and it works perfectly fine.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so $600, you can't go wrong. You can't when someone just wants a cheap computer. Obviously it doesn't come with the screen, it doesn't come with the mouse, it doesn't come with the keyboard, it doesn't come with anything else. But $600, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good price for what you're getting.
And if you want,
however, but you still, it's going to become a little pricey once you buy the keyboard, the mouse, and the screen. But if you already have a Mac Mini or you already have a PC or a desktop, you probably already have a pretty decent screen. So if you just want to change it up, all you got to do is swap it out and plug it in, and you're ready to go.
That's exactly it. And even at that, you can go $799 and you get a quad core i7 with a terabyte of hard drive, or you can create something called a fusion drive, 1 terabyte fusion drive, which combines SSD and a 1 terabyte drive, and then it'll move stuff. It's what we call dynamic caching, which pretty much takes your most recent files and puts them into SSD and puts your archive files into the slower 1 terabyte drive. So it turns into like one volume of 1 terabyte, let's say. That's something they introduced as well in this conference as well, which is actually pretty cool. Pretty cool. It takes both hard drives and it sort of understands what needs to be accessible, what needs to be faster and what needs to be like on the side. So I find that's pretty cool too.
That's probably the one I would go for. If I see because we're IT professionals, so me and Tim would probably go for the i7 and the 16 gigs of RAM and blah blah blah.
Oh, I would.
But I mean, if you're a regular home user and you just want to do regular homey kind of stuff, the i5 is more than enough.
I wouldn't even get the i7. There's no point in getting an i7 quad core. I would stick with a dual core and just up the RAM on that. And then you'll be totally fine.
I would get the i7 just because I can.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, because I want to have that sticker that says i7.
Okay, but they don't put stickers.
Oh yeah, they don't do that on Apple. That's right. Sorry, they're too good for that.
They are too good for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Other things. The iMac. They introduced a new iMac that is super thin.
It's super thin. When I first saw it, I said, wow, that is thin. But they kind of cheated a bit. It's kind of an optical illusion, if you will.
So to explain it to everyone that's listening, it's pretty much, think of the iMac now, pretty much you get rid of like 95% of it on the edges. So let's say on the complete edge of the screen, you get rid of 95% of it, and you have that little bit of an edge that's left over.
I think it's 5 millimeters or something like that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the actual, trying to get the actual the measurements here. 5 millimeter edge.
There you go.
On the side. But what it does is that it does balloon up into the stand, but not as much. It's not a big block anymore. It's at least it's thin, and then it balloons up into the stand.
Yeah.
So
it's not.
It is 40,
It's not 5 millimeters. All around, it's 5 millimeters on the edges, and then it, like Tim says, it balloons up where the stand meets the back of the iMac.
Yeah, and it's 40%. That's probably the best thing. 40% less volume than the original. So they pretty much took almost half of the volume of the iMac and got rid of it. So there's still stuff that there's still volume left to it. There's still a computer in there, but I mean, it's getting pretty cool technology, and you can get these from $12.99 to $19.99. And they all have the new Ivy Bridge, so they pretty much upgraded the Ivy Bridge on all of them. So there you can go from 2.7 gigahertz i5 dual core, quad core. Actually, you can only get in quad core. Wow. That's it, quad core all the way. Quad core i5 or quad core i7s.
Okay.
That's it. The RAM, in the lower models, which is a 21-inch, you can go up to 16 gigs. If you get a 27-inch, you can go up to 32 gigs of RAM. And it also has that 1 terabyte or 3 terabyte Fusion drive, which is combining an SSD drive, and as well as a hard drive for that caching stuff. It has its own graphics processors, the GT640M graphics, and also the 650, 660, and the 675. So as you go up, they go higher. It has the video camera. It has 4 USB 3.0 ports, SD slot, headphone, 2 Thunderbolts, and a gigabit Ethernet all in the back. And yeah, it's pretty nice looking computer if you wanted a desktop. $12.99 is not that expensive either. For an all-in-one, the screen is there, the computer's there, everything is there. It even comes with the wireless mouse and keyboard.
There you go.
So
Apple is not abandoning the desktop just yet.
Just yet. No. They got some more stuff up their sleeve. So I'm actually pretty happy that they announced some of the stuff. No new Mac Pro, but no one cares about the Mac Pro anymore. Yeah. Okay, so actually to the main event. So
the real news.
Yeah, they introduced the iPad Mini. The iPad Mini is pretty much. It actually looks like a bigger iPod Touch.
Yeah.
But it runs iPad software. It has a thinner bezel along the edges. That's something to note. It does have a front and rear facing camera. But if I just can get the stupid specs sheet here. Tech specs, fantastic. Okay, you can get in Wi-Fi and cellular. It has an aluminum back, as usual. It has 7.9-inch screen. You can get it in 16, 32, or 64 gig in black and white. And the resolution is the same thing as the iPad 2, which is 1024 by 768.
That's amazing.
No. It's not. It has an A5 processor, which is actually, I'm not even going to go into more of the specs. It's exactly like an iPad 2 with maybe a better camera, but it's an iPad 2 shrunken down to that form factor. But it does have Siri. And here's the price: $329 for the first one, for the 16 gig Wi-Fi.
If you could only see Tim's face right now.
I mean,
what do you thought? It's a good price. It's an iPad.
It's an iPad.
That's what people want. They want the iPad.
They want the iPad that costs $500, not the iPad mini that costs $329. That sucks more than the competition.
Well, then you march your white ass to Cupertino
and give it a nice
slap that Tim Cook in the face and say, "Dude, what is wrong with you?"
I don't know. $329 I find is kind of steep. When you're comparing against the competition, which if you're going to get a comparable Nexus 7, which has a better resolution.
Yeah.
Mind you, it doesn't have the rear-facing camera, but who cares about a rear-facing camera? It's more about the front-facing camera. Yeah. It's $299 or $259, I think, or something like that.
It's going to drop down in price. Number one.
Well, we're going to talk about that later.
If you want to get the 8 gig version, I believe it's still $199.
Right, but I'm talking about like a 16 gig.
The 16 gig, I paid $250, I think it was.
Yeah, you pay $250 for 16 gigs. It's a bit smaller than the iPad mini, but the resolution is better. And you saved $70. It's $70 difference. You know, so
it's $70, and you could do pretty much the exact same thing on both devices. Now, when you're buying Apple, you're always buying that premium. You're buying a premium. Yeah. You're buying the fashion statement of the Apple logo as well. So it's always going to be a premium when you're buying an Apple product. And for me, I knew it was going to be a high price. There's no way that Apple was going to come with the same price point or lower than Google. There's just no way. I knew that it was going to be higher.
I just don't understand why it's $329. Who's the genius who invented this price?
I was convinced. So sorry, go ahead.
$329 does not make sense as a price.
Yeah, no, I agree. But the thing, my guess was actually $350. I guess I said, you know what? I have a feeling it's going to come out at $350, so I was off by $20.
$299 would make sense. $299, I would not. It's honestly, it's a stupid thing. It's $30, right? But $30 makes a difference when you're talking about this low of a price, right? It's not $30 off of $600. Right, then you don't really care. But when it's $30 off a $300 price, that's 10% of the price. You know, you're adding. It's like if it was $299, it wouldn't be not a problem. You just say you go get an iPad Mini and that's it. You pay $50 extra, but you're getting an iPad. Now you're paying $70 extra. Sorry, it's $20 more. My mistake. No, it's $30 more. Whatever. Anyway, my math sucks. It's late. But again, like, okay, it runs apps. Like the ecosystem is there. But again, if you know what, for me, the way I see this market is that you're playing in a market. It was the same thing as it was before with the budget PC, Okay? Apple never competed against a budget PC. Apple never made a netbook. Why did Apple never make a netbook? Because they're cheaper components, and that's not their market. And if there was their market, they would never actually sell anything, because the whole point of a netbook is that it's small and it's cheap.
The whole point of a netbook is small, cheap, and it sucks.
And it sucks. So when you're getting with it, but regardless of the sucking factor, right? You're appealing to a market that is actually strapped for cash, right? That is looking at other alternatives because they're budget conscientious. They're not necessarily looking for the best thing, right? So when you're comparing a Nexus 7 that's $200, like even $199, 8 gigs, right? Nexus 7 compared to a $329 iPad mini. What are you going to buy?
Nexus 7.
Obviously. You know?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. You know?
No, but that's what they're banking on, right? Apple is banking on, we're the premium product. We have the ecosystem. And also, they're not in the 7-inch tablet market, Tim.
They're in a 7.9.
They're in the 7.9-inch tablet market now. Not the 7-inch tablet market, where they're in the 7 point... And they made that very clear.
Sure. I don't know. It's just... When you're getting into that kind of a market and you're playing like, oh, we made a smaller one and it's cheaper, but it's not really cheaper against your other competition. You know, the whole market you're going for... Like, I can understand some people are like, oh, I want a smaller tablet. Okay, get your smaller tablet. You're going to get the iPad mini. But, you know, the whole mass market appeal of the iPad was that it's the best tablet you can get.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? The iPad mini is not the best tablet you can get. The best tablet you can get is the iPad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I agree with you 100%. I just, I wasn't surprised. I really was not surprised. My guess was 350, and when I heard 330, I thought I was like, maybe they're gonna come up with something, be like, and guess what? Our tablet is at 250. Imagine that. Imagine if we would have said $250.
If they said $250, it would be game over.
Okay, imagine if he would have said 250 or 280.
If they said $299, it would still be great. It's because it's underneath that $300 point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But mind you, they do have an edge against most other 7-inch tablets. Is that they do offer a cellular LTE edition, which costs $459 for your base model. It's not too bad if you're looking for that.
Oh man, I know, but it's like,
it's LTE,
damn. Go get like, I don't know, get the iPad 2 or something. Oh well, I guess it's for people who want that 7-inch tablet, for people who really want that 7.9-inch tablet, they're gonna want to go for that. Yeah, I could see it.
But the thing is, I can totally see that.
But that's still pretty high, Tim.
And it's an LTE device, though.
Yeah, but I don't know, man.
It's really fast. But
still gonna sell. It's
gonna sell, but I don't know. It's not going to be the runaway success that they think it's going to be. It's not. I can tell you right now.
I hope not. I hope not, because I think I think Apple walks around as if their shit don't stink too much. It really angers me.
Yeah.
It angers me. And I don't like Tim Cook. I don't like that guy.
Why don't you like that guy?
He's I don't know. I don't like him. I don't like his presence. Okay. You know, Steve Jobs, I hated Steve Jobs, but I liked watching Steve Jobs because he had the charisma and he had the presence.
Okay.
When he was on the stage, he was like, yeah. He's like, no, I'm the boss.
Because
he's like, I'm the boss, and I don't care what anyone else thinks. And Tim Cook, I don't get that. He's nowhere near the presenter that Jobs was, and he doesn't have that character. He tries to personify. He tries to be. I feel as if he tries to be Steve Jobs a bit too much.
I guess
the way his mannerisms, the way he talks, the way he presents, but he just doesn't have it. Tim, you should just be yourself. Not you, Tim.
Not me.
I'm talking to Mr. Cook. Mr. Cook, you should just be yourself.
There you go, Mr. Cook.
Mr. Cook, just be yourself. I think he's trying to be that Steve Jobs kind of person. I just don't think he has it in him.
Can I just say something that I just saw right now on the webpage for buying an iPad mini with if you want the cellular? Right,
Okay.
if you want LTE. They offer, okay, so Bell, Rogers, and TELUS. Those are the three big carriers in Canada. Okay.
Okay.
And they offer 3 plans each. They all offer pretty much the same pricing. So I'm just going to name. Actually, you know what? TELUS is a bit. Oh well, anyway, whatever. Rogers and Bell. Okay. They offer 3 plans: 5 gigabyte plan per month, which costs $35. 250 megabyte plan, which costs $15. What's the point in getting that? And then you have 10 megabytes per month for $5.
What?
Who is going to buy this? 10 megabytes a month.
You're kidding me?
No.
Is that real?
That's real. That's on the Apple Store website. Like, TELUS has like 500 megs for $20, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Or 5 gigs for $35. Like they all offer a 10 megabyte for 30
Wait a sec. Wait, did you just say? Hang on a sec. Did you just
10.
say 500 megs for $20?
Yes.
And as compared to
35 for 5 gigs.
35 for 5 gigs?
Yes.
What the hell is that? That is what? You go from 500 megs to 5 gigs, and the difference between price is $15?
Yeah.
Are they smoking crack?
Dude, they're offering a 10 meg plan. That's pretty stupid.
Wait a sec. Is this TELUS?
This is all of them. No,
Wow.
Bell and Rogers
That's
are even
shocking.
worse. Bell and Rogers are even worse. They offer a 250 meg plan for $15, and then they offer 5 gigs for $35. It's funny.
Dude, man.
10 megs. What do you do with 10 megs?
I have a 6 gig data plan on my phone for $25 a month.
There you go.
Okay?
Stick with it.
6 gigs, $25. All I gotta do is make my phone into a hotspot, and it would be worth it.
Yeah.
That's it. Boom, done.
10 megs. What are you gonna do with 10 megs? It's not even a PDF.
I don't know. Download like 4 apps.
It's 3 PDF files.
Yeah, 3 PDF files.
Jeez. It's 3 songs. 3 songs. That's it. Wait till next month. Who does that?
Oh, man.
That's funny.
Please, people, don't. You know what? If you can't afford to get an iPad mini and you can't afford these data plans, then just don't.
Don't get the SIM card. Worst comes to worst.
No. Just if you have a cell phone already, try to up your data and pay more for that plan, and then just turn your phone into a hotspot. Please, please, people, don't give in to that.
Okay, so and they also so that's the iPad Mini, boo, and then they also announced that they revamped the iPad as well. So
man, talk about a huge slap in the face to everyone.
Everyone is kind of ticked off about it.
That is a big slap in the face.
I don't blame people on that, really, because you kind of like expect that Apple updates it every year. So at least 1 year you got the latest and greatest. And what they did is pretty much just they didn't change anything. They didn't add any new features. They just made it faster, and they put the Lightning connector on it.
It's funny because some people are like, "Oh wow, it's such a great upgrade. That's a great update, dude."
No.
Yeah, they could have. Don't tell me that they couldn't have done this 6 months ago. Don't tell me that. That's just bullshit. I'm sorry.
6 months ago, they didn't have the chip ready. It was
man,
the chip.
I would have been like,
iPhone 5.
Woo! If I would have spent like $600 on that iPad 3, and 6 months later, like, okay, if I'm buying an Android tablet, I expect that. It's expected that
Because
you buy tomorrow, next day it's gonna be a piece of junk. It's expected, and people know that. But not with Apple. Apple, it was once a year. They're gonna come out with the new iPad. They're gonna bash the old iPad, and then they're gonna sell you the same thing that you just bought last year.
Yeah.
Which is and a bit faster.
Yeah. So but they pretty.
That's what makes me mad.
Well,
like I feel like I'm mad for the Apple fans as well.
Well, you want to know something also? At least you don't have to deal with the Lightning connector bullcrap. At least, right? If you have this new iPad, you have to deal with the Lightning connector stupidity that's going on right now.
What's the stupidity?
Well, the whole dongle. You have to buy like an extra. You have to buy new cables. Yada yada yada. Docks don't work anymore.
Okay.
So at least you don't have to deal with that garbage. And it's just a processor spec bump. So it's not the end of the world. But what was I going to say? So they pretty much just pushed the new iPad 4th generation. Probably, my guess is just to push the Lightning connector down people's throat. So now they have the new iPad mini, they have the new iPod Touch, they have the iPhone, and now they have the 4th generation iPad that has all Lightning connectors now. They're getting rid of the 30-pin. And what's shocking, which I still don't understand how this works out, is that they're still selling the iPad 2.
Really?
For $399 with a 30-pin connector. So explain to me why you would buy an iPad mini if you can get an iPad 2 for $399. Oh,
because you want
Siri.
that 7.9-inch form factor.
You don't.
That's
get
the only reason.
Sure.
But that would be the only reason, Tim. Is okay? Like I don't want a 10-inch tablet. I want a 7.9-inch tablet. So they're gonna go buy the 7.9-inch tablet.
Okay. Sure.
That's 2 inches, Tim. 2.1 inches difference.
What's the point of keeping the iPad 2? Why don't you just get rid of it?
I don't know.
And make people and just force people to buy the iPad mini.
Tim, you should go online, buy a ticket to Cupertino, California, fly there.
But they're selling more iPad 2s with 30-pin connectors. This is what I don't understand. They didn't update the iPad 2 with the Lightning connector, so they're still selling the 30-pin.
Well,
this
that's
doesn't
just
make
the way
any
it
sense.
is.
How are they going to support this?
I don't know, bud. I don't know what to tell you.
No, but it doesn't make any sense.
Apparently it does, in the eyes of the Apple people.
But at least update this. Anyway, whatever. It's so stupid. Why do they even show it on the website? Oh, this one is Lightning. This one is a 30-pin.
Yay!
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 Fan-freaking-tastic. Whatever. Okay, so that's iPad stuff. That's all Apple stuff. That was announced.
Yeah, that was totally announced. Yeah, and that's gonna happen.
It has happened. That's it. That's all. So pre-orders already happened. And pretty soon they should be hitting this Friday, November 2nd, is when they're hitting stores. So if you want to be waiting in line for an iPad mini, let me know so I can laugh at you. And
slap!
I don't know. Really, iPad mini, whatever. Anyway, okay, I won't laugh at you. I'll probably try it out if you give me a call.
And then you're going to realize, and you're going to be like, wow, this is the exact same thing that I have, but smaller.
More or less. But, yeah, so it's all happening on Friday. So, all that fun stuff. Okay, so that is all Apple stuff. Let's talk about Windows 8. I'm actually really happy with Windows 8, just to be honest with you.
That's huge news.
I took the plunge with my gaming rig here. I have like a, what is this? Oh my god, I forgot what I have. Whatever. Anyway, it's a pretty good computer.
Okay.
Hold on. I have a quad core or something like that.
Just DX Diag.
whatever, properties, computer. Intel, no, sorry, no. Yeah, I have Intel Core 2 Quad. You know,
Okay.
I got it like 2 years ago. You know, with the cool graphics card, ATI graphics card, and everything else. And yeah, you know, I have a dual monitor. And you know what? I was trying Windows 8 earlier last week because I was able to get it on my MacBook with Fusion. It was running really great. My only thing is that with a mouse and keyboard only, it kind of sucks.
Okay, I was just about to ask you. How do you find it with the mouse and keyboard?
It's kind of like you get lost unless you know what you're doing. What I found interesting is that, okay, so on my laptop, that's, you know, just a regular laptop, right, a MacBook, there's a lot of, like, you know, getting used to. You have to, like, for example, in order to get to the charms bar, yeah, you can do Windows C, but, like, you know, for most people, you're going to drag your mouse to the top right-hand corner and then scroll down directly down from there, you know? That's not intuitive, really. Or, you know, to get access to other apps, like you do the app switching, you have to put your mouse at the top left-hand corner and then go straight down. And then you're going to have all your, you know, your apps. You know, those things don't really translate well with the mouse. When you have a touchscreen, it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
It's like the best thing in the world. On my computer, when you have a dual screen computer, it actually makes a lot of sense. And I think it's probably the best way to go about with Windows 8 if you're having a desktop, is because you can have, when you have it in dual screen, you have the start menu, which takes one screen completely, and then you have the other screen that just runs the desktop all the time.
Yeah.
Which I think is fantastic, because with that, I can have, let's say, like, you know, I can get a smaller screen, you know, have it on the side, has my Metro apps there, so I can run, you know, with the mail or calendar or OneNote, whatever. And then I can have my full desktop experience on the bigger screen, which I can use, you know, Word, but whatever other things I have, like Internet Explorer. Sometimes I use with the desktop. I use Fusion, Eclipse sometimes, you know. So this makes sense. And I'm really, really, you know, it's really snappy. It's a lot of fun to use. I like it a lot.
I'm glad to hear that you like it.
I really do. What do you think about it, Vince?
Well, I've been installing Windows 8 on different pieces of hardware. I've been installing it on older systems and newer systems. I haven't actually... I have it installed on my desktop as well, but I have it installed on a separate hard drive. And I haven't taken the plunge yet to actually upgrade my, I'm going to call it my production system, since this is where I do all my work and I do my personal computing as well. So I haven't taken the plunge yet to do that because, well, usually I'm always first to, you know, I'm an early adopter pretty much. On older hardware, it actually runs really, really well. On newer hardware, it's phenomenal. You're missing the fun of the touchscreen, however. It does make a big difference in terms of ease of access. You know, you have to be kind of precise when you're navigating with the mouse and keyboard. I'm good with it. Like I don't have any problems navigating. You know, like if you just jam your mouse into the upper left screen, you know, you get your previous applications list.
Yeah.
If you jam your mouse to the top right, you get your charms bar and whatever.
It's just I find that's not
Sorry?
intuitive. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I find that's not intuitive with the mouse.
It's not intuitive because, like, you know, it's Windows users are just used to that start menu, like the start orb, and that's like pretty much where the mouse is going 90% of the time when you want to launch an app or something. However, you know, when you're installing Windows 8, they give you a little tutorial It's, it pretty much tells you, hello, welcome to Windows 8, and this is how you use your new Windows 8 experience, which helps. So people will have that idea, and I feel as if people will get used to it. If you're using it on a desktop, it's a bit of a learning curve, but you will get used to it.
Yeah.
In terms of performance, it's great. It's fast, very fast.
Yeah.
If you're installing it on a decent system, obviously. What was holding me back is I was just afraid of the whole upgrade process, because usually when it comes to an operating system, I never upgrade.
No.
I don't care what it is.
It's not recommended.
No, I never upgrade, and it's not just because it's Windows. Tim, you told me as well that you said when you want to reformat a Mac or do an upgrade, you just do a straight format.
Yeah, when I did with Mountain Lion, I didn't do that, but it's because I was too lazy. But now I just did it again. Like, I just did it this weekend to just start with a clean slate. You just don't want lingering stuff to stay.
Yeah, so
it's always good.
And I've never upgraded. I never ever did an upgrade unless I was doing it for a client. I don't know. I just never. It's rare that I can't remember the last time I did a Windows upgrade.
Yeah, I know it's not the prettiest thing in the world with any operating system.
No, but I've been hearing very good things about this particular Windows 7 to Windows 8 upgrade.
Yeah,
I've been hearing good things. So I'm going to go ahead and do it now. I'm actually going to upgrade my current production system, which has all my personal stuff on it, all my work stuff on it. I'm actually going to do the upgrade from Windows 7 Ultimate to Windows 8 Pro and then to Windows 8 Enterprise.
So back up your stuff. That's one thing to do. Always when you do an upgrade, back up.
Yeah, well, listen.
Back up,
I keep all my data on a separate hard drive, and it's rated.
Okay, here you go. You're fine.
Okay, and I have my OS on my SSD.
No, I'm just saying for all our listeners, always back up before you upgrade.
Always back up. Always back up.
Always. Because
just back up your data. That's all you need. You just need to back up your data.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. If I have a chance this week, this week during the evening, I'm going to do it. I'm also going to record my whole process, and I'm going to upload it to YouTube.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
So before I actually tried this already. I tried it a couple days ago. I just want to see how the compatibility between Windows 7 Ultimate and Windows 8 Pro was, and you cannot do the upgrade. It will not let you upgrade from Windows 7 Enterprise to Windows 8. You cannot upgrade Windows 7 Ultimate to Windows 8 Enterprise, because Enterprise you could only get from volume licensing and special kind of agreements like that from software assurance, and I have access to those kinds of things. So what is allowed, though, is Windows 7 Ultimate to Windows 8 Pro. But the reason why I want Enterprise is for the virtualization and Windows to Go and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So my plan is from Windows 7 Ultimate to Windows 8 Pro and then to Windows 8 Enterprise. So I'm going to try that out, and it's going to be like live. I'm going to do it. It's going to be like that. If I run into a problem, I'm going to pause the video. I'll fix it up, and then I'll start up the video again. So I'm going to be doing it. I've heard good things about the upgrade process. I heard it's fast, and when you return, like after the upgrade, when you log into your Windows 8 environment, apparently everything just is there and it's working. Everything is there, ready to go.
Cool.
So I'm going to give it a try. And you'll be the first to know how the outcome is, and you'll probably be the first to watch the video.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's so I can't really give you my first impressions of Windows 8. I'm pretty confident that it's going to be good, because you're using it right now. Yeah. And you like it. So that's a good sign. Tim is usually very anal about certain things.
I'm pretty.
So for Tim to like something, it's got to be good.
Yeah, I think it's good. I like it.
But just one more thing is that also
Yeah.
Windows Surface RT is out.
Right. And you know what? I was kind of down on the RT. I was really down on the RT like the past few weeks. And
I was as well.
I played with, okay, maybe I not have played with the RT, with the Surface RT, but I played with RT itself on the Asus something.
Where, at a store?
At Future Shop.
Oh, they have them?
Yep. And I was pretty impressed, to be honest with you. For people...
Looks like I got to go to Future Shop.
Future Shop or Best Buy, one of the two. They're the same thing, more or less.
Yeah.
But I was really impressed. I was playing with it, very snappy. I totally see a student, a law school student or literal arts student or whatever, taking this, and you have in this tablet, okay, you can install Metro apps, which are going to be coming, and you have Office. You have the full suite of Office, and you have OneNote, all in like $600.
Yeah.
I think that's killer.
It's pretty good.
I think that's damn good.
I was bashing RT as well, and I guess I was being somewhat biased because I'm like straight up desktop guy, and I want my old desktop apps, and I want my Intel, and I'm all about Intel. I'm all about backwards compatibility, but I'm not the average, is what I have to realize. I'm not the average consumer. I'm not the average user. I'm an enterprisey tech guy. So I'm always like, oh, you're on an ARM processor, whatever. Give me my Intel i7.
Exactly.
But I can't, Microsoft can't think that way now.
No.
They got away with thinking that way for a long time.
Yeah.
Because that was their bread and butter. But now they have to appeal to the masses. Because they don't want to be only the enterprise brand. They want to be the everything brand. They want to be consumer, and they want to be enterprise. So with the RT, Surface RT, and other RT products, they're showing that, hey, we can appeal to just the regular user and, the regular consumer, the students, the mother, the father, the grandfather, the grandmother. So I get it. And from the first impressions, I've read reviews, I've watched reviews, people who I've read opinions from people who only use primarily Apple products, people who use primarily Microsoft products, and the overall reaction about Windows RT is actually pretty good. All the reviews that I've watched and read, they are praising the build quality of the Surface RT.
Yeah.
The build quality apparently is impeccable. Very solid, very well built. Apparently, it's a beautiful tablet. And when they start using that type cover, and then they go into they launch Office. It's like, hey, this actually does work. That's the impression that I'm getting from these reviews. I might be wrong, but that's the kind of feeling that I'm getting from Surface RT. And apparently, it's sold pretty well. Because apparently there were lines, and Microsoft wasn't expecting the Microsoft stores to actually have lines and people to line up for this product, because that's more of an Apple kind of launch. Yeah. So apparently our RT Surface looks like it's doing pretty good so far. Personally, I'm waiting for the Pro.
Yeah, I would too.
But by all means, you know what? If you're a student, or you're just someone who wants to have a tablet and use Office or whatever, the common. So what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of good stuff, but there's also kind of some bad things that go with it naturally. Everyone can't get past the fact, and it is a fact right now, that the ecosystem is like zero. pretty much. They're getting, like, you could already see, like, the store kind of building up with some quality applications and some, like big time applications.
Yeah, like I've been seeing.
But that's gonna come. It's gonna come in time.
Yeah, like I've been looking at the store, and they have, like, the essentials for me, like Evernote, Sketch. They have OneNote and Metro. They do have, for example, for me, TSN. They have a TSN app. CTV News, Google. Stumble Upon, Kindle, Netflix, LastPass. That's a good app too. They do have a bunch of other stuff as well. It's starting to become. What's pretty funny is that they have uTorrent in the store.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Like, because
they have uTorrent in the store.
Wow.
Which is pretty funny, but it's a desktop app, obviously. But they're starting to come up with, like, a bunch of cool stuff. They have Fruit Ninja. They have, for us in Canada, they have CBC News. It's getting there.
It's gonna take time. I feel as if the apps are gonna come, but. Apparently, as well with the RT Surface RT, is that there have been some performance issues. Don't know if that's going to be resolved, maybe by some sort of update. I'm not sure. But anyway, so far so good on the front of Surface RT. Yeah.
So it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. To go back to the whole shopping experience. I had my aunt that was buying. I wanted to buy a laptop like a month ago, and I'm like, "There's no point in buying a laptop now. You might as well wait until October 26th." And she's like, "Why? Some new Windows and whatever and blah blah blah." Anyway, so it finally came this weekend, and I went with her to buy a laptop, and we were looking at them all, and I wanted her to have a touchscreen laptop.
Really?
The reason why is that she is not young. Okay, she's young at heart. I love my aunt, but she's the generation where, like, oh, I want to go here, and she goes like that, right, onto the screen. So we got. I pretty much looked around what's in store because she wanted the laptop there and then, so I had to deal with what was in store. And the laptop that I saw was actually a pretty damn good one. It's called the Hewlett-Packard NV 14 Touch. Okay, and it was my first experience with Windows 8 with a touchscreen. Mind you, touchscreen on a laptop is pretty damn cool.
Is it really? I was going to ask you that because apparently a lot of people are as well. They're liking. The laptop with the touchscreen.
It's really cool because it's it's kind of a weird thing. So when you're typing on the laptop, right? So you have you're close to the screen already. Then when you just want to touch something, you can go either way, right? You can go back to the trackpad, right, with your hand, or you can go directly to the screen. Right?
Yeah, because you said, you're pretty much practically touching the screen when you're typing.
You're practically there already, right? So when you're there, you're typing and then you just touch, and you know what? You actually do save time compared to like going to the mouse, then moving your cursor there, and then pressing the button. And also it's pretty intuitive when you go here for multiple points. It's a lot faster, and even at that, Windows 8 actually becomes a lot better. Those things that I was saying about you have to go to the top corners and then go down and then you hit the charms and whatever. Here you just flick it from the left and to the right and it's there. It's super easy. It's made. It's made for touch right when you start using a touchscreen on the Windows 8.
Oh yeah. Windows 8 screams touch me.
It's like even Excel 2013. You can zoom in with pinch and zoom on Excel cells, and it zooms in no problem.
That's pretty cool.
Super fluid. It was pretty impressive, and I was actually pretty jealous that she was getting that laptop. To be honest with you, I'm like, oh my god, that laptop is so nice. I want it. And you know what? The specs on that laptop is not that bad. It's 8 gigs of RAM.
Whoa.
14-inch touchscreen. 500 gig hard drive, and you have an Ivy Bridge processor.
Damn.
For $1,000 Canadian.
Damn. Wow.
And, I was pretty impressed with that. You know, it's not that expensive. A good laptop is not that expensive. So, you know what? If people are buying laptops now, I totally suggest getting one with a touchscreen. You'll regret it if you don't get it without a touchscreen. If you're getting a new laptop today, get one with a touchscreen. You won't just be disappointed.
Well, you know, Tim, talking about the whole touchscreen thing now, is that now with Windows 8, all these touch-enabled desktops are all-in-one desktops are coming out too. Mm-hmm. And I've never ever wanted a Dell product in my life, ever, until their new desktop that they announced.
Okay.
It's an all-in-one. I'm gonna pull up the specs now. And I'm telling you, and you know how I feel about Dell, and you feel the same way, is that we both can't stand Dell.
I hate Dell.
Hated, wow. Like, never, every time I would see a Dell, I would get sick to my stomach. And then I was, when did I see it? Yes, they demoed it on the Windows 8 announcement, when they were announcing Windows 8. They had a whole bunch of desktops and stuff on the stage, and then I saw the Dell, and I just said, "That's Dell." And it's not just the look of it, because it looks like a regular, like, all-in-one desktop. It's not about the looks, but it's about the touchscreen and about its specs. The specs are pretty much similar to the new Apple iMac that's coming out.
Okay.
And it has the same resolution as well. An i7 processor, 8 gigs of DDR3 RAM, 2 gigabit NVIDIA GeForce GT, 2 terabyte 7200 RPM hard drive, Blu-ray and DVD, gigabit networking, wireless. So it comes with Windows 8 Pro 64-bit. Windows 8 Pro 64-bit. And the thing about this desktop is that you could also like kind of transform it downwards, and then it becomes like a touch top. So it's got like a hinge where you press it down, and you can start touching on it. Okay, that's cool. And I was looking at it, and I'm like, wow. I like this Dell product, and this is a Dell product that I actually want. And I was like, I've never wanted a Dell product before, but I said I would actually buy this. So the touch-enabled screens, laptops, desktops, if you want the full Windows 8 experience, there's no question. You're going to have to get something that's touch-enabled. And you're going to have the choice. You're going to have a lot of choices, because there's a lot of manufacturers coming out with the touch-enabled desktops and touch-enabled laptops.
Yeah, and I suggest getting those. Don't get something without a touchscreen.
Yeah,
I totally recommend. There's no point in not getting something with a touchscreen nowadays. But yeah, no, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. So by the way, people that are buying Windows 8, do not buy the box upgrade. For the love of God, do not buy the box upgrade. If you like wasting money, give it to me. Don't give it to Microsoft. Okay? Give it to me and Vince. Okay? Just we won't say who it's from, or if you want, we could say who it's from, but don't give them the extra $30. So they have two different versions of that. Two different ways you can buy an upgrade to Windows 8. There is the box version, which is $69. So you go to Future Shop, say I want the upgrade version of Windows 8, and then they say, here you go, it's $69.99. Okay. Or you can go to store.microsoft.com and you can download it for $39.99.
Boom.
And you can make a DVD out of it.
Boom.
So don't waste your money on spending $30 extra for something that's completely useless, unless you really, really like the packaging.
Which is pretty ugly in my opinion.
Write us an email if you're going to do this and you really like the packaging, because I want to know really like what's your valid like excuse. But seriously, save the money, and if you want to waste the money, give it to us.
Yeah, please.
No, but like I'm just saying as a tip, because there's always a mass confusion. Even Microsoft doesn't even tell you until you do it that you can do it. You can create an ISO with the download version, because they want it. The confusion is a good business plan. You know, so.
Of course.
So yeah. So that's Windows 8. To stay in the same vein of Windows, let's talk about Windows Phone 8 very quickly. They didn't talk about anything new, really.
No. It was a very subtle kind of announcement. A lot of little new upgrades as opposed to like one huge big upgrade. There's a lot more apps coming. We're gonna see a lot more. How can I say, high quality, or like they're gonna have something out of I forget what it said. Like they said, like 48 or 47 out of the top 50 apps that they're gonna have. The devices are gonna be on par with the iPhone and all the other Android devices out there. So if you're looking for high-end devices on Windows Phone systems, now you're going to get that. They touted a couple new features, like one being Kid Zone, which is actually a pretty good idea. I was out to dinner last Saturday night, and there was a mutual friend. Like they had their son there, and he was all into like everyone's cell phone and wanted to play games. So I could actually see the Kid Zone thing kind of being a pretty good selling point.
Except when it works.
Sorry?
Only when it works.
Yeah, well, we'll see if it works.
Because like, did you watch the video today?
Yeah, because like it actually did work.
It did not work at all.
It didn't? What are you talking about?
No, the guy gave it to his kid. Right? He's like, oh, here, I activate it now. Here's the gift to the kid. And the kid just swiped up and it went directly to, like, his thing.
Oh, yeah, no, that's because he didn't have his lock screen on. You're supposed to have your lock screen on. Like, it's supposed to be locked and he didn't have it on. But anyway,
it's still a demo
the point is that
it's like, oh,
if you have your lock screen, right, and it's passworded, if you have the Kid Zone thing, I'm pretty sure you need to have it passworded. And you have the Kid Zone thing enabled. The kid takes the phone, swipes from the right-hand side as opposed to underneath on the bottom side of the screen. So the kid takes the phone, swipes from the right-hand side, and then they're into Kid Zone mode. And over there they have access to the apps and games that you make available to them only. So, the whole thing is to like try to avoid kids going in there and maybe sending a bad text message to your boss or something like that. It's actually pretty cool. It's a neat idea. It's pretty unique. Other than that, I mean, they're getting Pandora, which was a big announcement. And it's like you're going to get like a year free of music or something like that. And obviously like you're going to have more notifications on your home screen. There's going to be like dynamic home screens where they change. They showed off the Bing home screen, which you know how every time you go to Bing.com, it has a different picture. So every time you unlock your phone or turn on your phone, you're going to have a different picture as your lock screen. A lot of little things like that. It actually looks pretty nice. I like what the biggest change and like that I love about Windows Phone 8 is just that on the home screen, you have more than 2 rows of apps, which is really nice. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty much small incremental upgrades as opposed to one huge upgrade from Windows 7.5 to Windows 8. Windows Phone 7.5 to Windows Phone 8. I like it. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, and the big thing to take away from this is that Windows Phone 8 is coming soon. Very soon, like in about 2 weeks. So we're talking about the November 12th is around the release time for all these phones. We're talking about the Lumia 920s, the 820s, and also the HTC 8X, and also the Samsung stupid name, whatever the hell it's called.
A TEV or something. I think I forget.
No one's gonna buy that phone. But the price points are pretty ridiculously cheap. Like a subsidized price with AT&T in the United States for an HTC 8X is $99.
Yeah.
It's
well, when I saw the price, I was like, damn, $99 is good because you're getting actually really good hardware as well.
Yeah. So I mean, it's pretty cool, and actually the reviews for the HTC 8X have been pretty good.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Well, the only thing that's really stopping the HTC X from having a really good score. Well, it already has a really good review.
It has a 7.8.
But what's holding it back is the ecosystem, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, but it's gonna get better. In terms of design, it's got a 9. This is from The Verge, so you know what? So is The Verge. Design has got a 9. Display has got a 9. Camera has got a 7. Reception, call quality has got who cares about that? Who makes a phone call anymore? See, in terms of things that are really important in a phone, design, display, and the performance, they all got 9s. Battery life got an 8. It's just ecosystem is the thing that sucks. And so that's what happens when you're third place.
Yep.
And it's gonna get better once more people adopt it. It needs the people to adopt it. That's the only problem. But it'll get better. It already has 120,000 apps, so I guess things are progressing in that respect. But I'm just going to say it anyway. I'm going to go to the Google stuff. They announced the Nexus 4. So they canceled the event for today because of the hurricane that's happening, the Frankenstorm.
Yeah.
We're going through New York City and now going through Toronto now, which it's pretty bad. But so they pretty much got people in to get a closer look at the Nexus 4, which is the LG phone, which is there's only one Nexus that's coming out, and it is this phone, and this phone actually looks pretty damn cool. It has it has Jelly Bean, which is 4.2, and it doesn't really have anything new. Apart from minor tweaks here and there, you can do Street View now. You can create your own Street View with the panorama. It's all glass. It'll be $299, and that's coming out November 12th as well. But the screen is 320 pixels per inch, so it's bigger than the iPhone. And it's I think this is my next phone.
Really?
It has inductive charging. It's cool.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Which is wireless charging. That's pretty cool. Honestly, this phone is really nice. Even though it's an LG, it's pretty damn nice. It's a 4.7 inch with 1280 by 768. It's almost the same resolution as my MacBook Pro screen.
Wow, that's crazy.
Right. So, it's apparently. They've been doing a lot of stuff with this. It has NFC, Bluetooth, 2 gigabytes of RAM on this phone.
Damn. You can install Windows 7 on it if you wanted.
And it has a wireless charging orb.
Tim's mesmerized. It has some wireless charging orb.
The only thing that doesn't have LTE.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I don't have, so I don't really mind.
I think it sucks that it doesn't come with LTE.
I know.
Like, why? Because they said they want to appeal to mass market
Because they're making one
other
phone.
nations. Screw the other nations. Give me LTE. If that phone had LTE, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
But whatever. I guess 3G is fast enough. I don't know.
I don't know. I just like the phone, and I'm tired of the iPhone.
Oh, Tim, and he finally said it.
I like
Mark the calendar. Mark it.
No,
October
because,
29th. Tim is officially sick of the iPhone.
It's because it's not innovating in the respect of where I don't see it's pushing the envelope as much as what Google is doing with these phones and with the software. Like, have you ever seen Google Now live? It's pretty intense. Like, a friend of mine has a Galaxy Nexus, and all he has to do is go to Google Now, and it already tells him all the stuff that he needs to know. How long it's going to take him to go home. What's the latest scores for the Owls game. He doesn't have to do anything. Google already knows what to give him as information.
Wow.
These things that are just, it's very interesting stuff. There's a lot of interesting stuff. Like changing the panorama, right, to something like at Street View, so you can make like your own little Street View. It's pretty cool, and they're continuing to work with NFC.
Tim really wants the Nexus 4.
It's very, very cool.
But
anyway,
they also announced the
10?
what's it called?
The Nexus 10.
Yeah, the Nexus. Yeah, that took a while. The Nexus 10.
Yeah, that thing sucks.
Sucks.
When you do, okay, I'll tell you why.
It like kicks Retina in the ass.
What?
Why are people messaging me? Doesn't have a higher resolution than the Retina display on the iPad?
No one cares. Look, I'll be completely frank with everyone. If you're going to get a tablet, you don't get an Android tablet. I'm sorry, unless you get a Galaxy Nexus, okay? The Galaxy Nexus, the Nexus 7, right? It's a 7-inch tablet. It's an entry market. That's cool. But I'll be completely honest with you. If you're gonna spend the $600.
Wow.
Right? They didn't announce the price, but like 10-inch tablets cost about $600. If you're gonna get a $600, either A, get an iPad, or B, get a Windows RT device.
Why, Tim? Why? Isn't Jelly Bean supposed to fix everything?
Okay. No, it's not. Okay, Jelly Bean, okay, runs really well on the phone. Okay, but it's just, the iPad has its use case because it has the ecosystem. It's there. It's proven. It has everything that you can make it into your own computer if you really wanted to. Okay, with an Android device, not really. With an Nexus 7 device, yes, you can. You can do your Nexus 7 stuff with it. But you're talking about like when you're paying $600, when you're getting to that price range of $600, okay. The appeal of an RT device, which has Office, the full suite of Office 2013 in it already, right, with other apps coming in, versus the iPad, which has its ecosystem that it can thrive off of, and it's super popular, and everyone has one, and it's a cool thing to have. An Android tablet that's 10-inch, I don't see the appeal of it. I see the appeal of a better 7-inch Nexus 7. Right, but I don't see the appeal of a 10-inch tablet when you're paying full price for it.
Well, we'll have to see what it's all about.
I guess.
What if it rocks? What if it's like the best tablet ever?
Then I'm wrong. Then I'm wrong.
Well, that was simple enough.
That's all there is to it. Oh, sorry, it's $399.
Well, that's a lot better. Really? That's pretty good, Tim. Are you sure it's $3.99?
It's 16 by 9. Look, this thing sucks. Oh,
How does it suck?
It's terrible. Look, I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, I'm about to vomit all over my screen.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't be fooled by Tim. Even though he says he wants the Nexus 4, he still hates Android. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. So, it's been a pretty cool past week. A lot of announcements.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. We were all like, we were dying to make a podcast.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, we have to hold off until like this comes out. Oh, we have to hold off to this. So we finally got like, okay, it's good. Let's go.
Let's do it. We said so. A lot of new things from the three big players.
No, this tablet sucks.
Apple, Microsoft, and Google. Google still has to do their whole presentation. They still got They said they're going to reschedule their event until everything's cool over there. And if you're on the East Coast,
I don't even think they're going to.
Good luck to you, because it's not going to really reach us here in Montreal all that bad.
Oh yeah, it will.
Not that bad.
Not that bad, but it's actually it's supposed to come back to the east and it's supposed to swing right through Montreal.
God damn it! I hope there's no power outages. I don't like power outages. Power outages are the worst.
No, check if you want to check. I don't have the actual link. We'll probably put it in the show notes. But there's the Google Crisis Center maps that kind of give a trajectory of where the hurricane is supposed to go.
Okay.
So yeah, but a hurricane, Frankenstorm, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's it for today, this podcast. You can always check us out, tgtp1@hotmail.com. YouTube is youtube.com/tgtp1. For Facebook, we're tgtp1. And on Twitter, we're tgtp1. So tgtp1. I say it too fast sometimes.
TGTP1. Wait, did I just mess up?
No.
TGTP. That Generic Tech Podcast 1. There you go. Boom. Done.
Boom.
So, it's been a fun week. I was really excited, and now it's going to be a whole bunch of boring stuff.
And now I need to go to bed.
And me too.
It's okay. You know what? We're probably going to have another podcast probably during this week to talk about the stuff that just happened, like Scott Forstall leaving. So
yeah. There's also a lot of crazy stuff that happened today. So we're going to try to hopefully record again sometime this week. Maybe squeeze in a weekend edition. Who knows?
Yeah, we're going to probably digest it, understand it, and then actually give an actual insightful information about it. But yeah, Scott Forstall's got to leave anyway.
And we still have to cover the Google announcement when they come back and do it.
I don't think they're going to do one. They just announced everything right now.
Well, what if they have something up their sleeve?
It's a free... I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I guess so.
Well, we'll see.
Alright, so take care, Internet. Rock on, and keep it real.
Peace out, interwebs.
Ciao. Okay.